You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Spyro Agnew to eat hog maws confiscated from a Harlem sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by the Schaefer Award Theater and will not star Natalie Woods and Steve McQueen or Bullwinkle and Julia. The revolution will not give your mouth sex appeal. The revolution will not get rid of the nub. The revolution will not make you look 5 pounds thinner because the revolution will not be televised, brother. There will be no pictures of you and Willie Mae pushing that shopping cart down the block on the dead run or trying to slide that color TV into a stolen ambulance. NBC will not be able to predict the winner at 8:32 on report from 29 districts. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of Whitney Young being run out of Harlem on a rail with a brand new process. There will be no slow motion or still life of Roy Wilkins strolling through Watts in a red, black, and green liberation jumpsuit that he has been saving for just the proper occasion. Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies, and Hooterville Junction will no longer be so damn relevant, and women will not care if Dick finally got down with Jane on Search for Tomorrow, because black people will be in the street looking for a brighter day. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no highlights on the 11 o'clock news and no pictures of Harry armed women liberationists and Jackie Onassis blowing her nose. The theme song will not be written by Jim Webb or Francis Scott Key, nor sung by Glenn Campbell, Tom Jones, Johnny Cash, Engelbert Humperdinck, or The Rare Earth. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be right back after a message about a white tornado, white lightning, or white people. You will not have to worry about a dove in your bedroom, the tiger in your tank, or the giant in your toilet bowl. The revolution will not go better with Coke. The revolution will not fight germs that may cause bad breath. The revolution will put you in the driver's seat. The revolution will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised. The revolution will be no rerun, brothers. The revolution will be live.
I'm talking about shout going crazy. People going crazy in them motherfuckers. Run that shit back, man.
But it's nothing. Nothing. Got a woman on the bed. Man made the car. Carry the heavy load. Man made the electrolyte to kick us out of the dark. Man made the pump for the water like the 7-no-meter. Man thinks about a little bit of baby girl and a baby boy. Man make them happy because man make them dark. But after man make everything we can, do you know that man makes money? To buy from other men. This is a man's world.
Greetings, Black family. Thank y'all for tuning in to the special edition of Shabaka'S Black Experience Enhanced in conjunction with Frontline Black News this evening. This is season 8, episode 46 of Shabaka'S Black Experience Enhanced. We're doing a special edition. We are joined with our brother Jerome Anderson from Shreveport, Louisiana. He has an update for us. But first, let me read the description. What's going on in Shreveport, Louisiana? Update from earlier. Several squatters removed, 30 people removed. Shreveport police carried them out. Human rights violations. We will be discussing the multiple apartment complexes closing down in Shreveport, Louisiana due to negligence of property owners and by the city. Also, Black families are being forced out of rental units, have less than 3 weeks to find a place to live. These apartments also have mold, uninhabitable conditions, and the tenants are up to date on their rents. Please call in with your questions, comments, and concerns. The call-in number is 516-418-5996 and press 1 and you'll be live on the air. Okay, I see you, brother. This episode for those that are 18 years of age and over, and this episode is also be simulcasted on Streamyard, Facebook, and YouTube. So, greetings, Mr. Anderson from the Mile High Income City. Oh crap! Y'all couldn't hear me on the blog talk. I'm sorry. Thank y'all for tuning into this special edition of Shabaka'S Black Experience Enhanced. We are doing a special edition. Brother Jerome has an update for us. What's going on in Shreveport, Louisiana? Update from earlier. Several squatters removed, 30 people removed. Shreveport police carried them out. Human rights violations. Please call in with your questions, comments, and concerns. The number is 516-418-5996. Press 1 and you'll be live on the air. So I'm going to unmute your mic, Brother Jerome, and you can give us the update of what's happening down in Shreveport, Louisiana. Good evening to you.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. No, my name ain't Jerome. It's Jermaine.
You said the past 2 days.
Is hello?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. You keep saying Jerome. My name is Jermaine, not Jerome.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jermaine. I apologize, brother. Yes. Do you have an update for us, brother Jermaine?
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. Well, they put out 29 people. They put out 29 people out of the Jolie apartments this afternoon. I think they will take that back 30 people, which one they arrested. But I'm thinking my latest thinking is this. I think some of those people were renters. A lot of them were renters. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Unknown caller, is this Shabaka? Is this Sarge?
How do we know the renters wasn't causing the damage on that property? See, so and they were using the squatters as a scapegoat. I thought about that as well.
Hold on, brother. I'm trying to figure out who this unknown caller is. Unknown caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Unknown caller, 1111111. What's your name? Where you calling from? Okay, they must just be listening.
Are you talking to me?
Yes. Who is this and where are you calling from, sir?
Oh, I was taken by surprise.
Oh, Lord, it's goddamn Sarge.
I am.
God damn it, Sarge.
Okay. Man, what? That's hey. Thank you for the marvelous and cordial greeting you just gave me. I really appreciate it.
I thought it was you, Sarge, but I wasn't 100% sure. Greetings, Sarge. Good evening to you. So our brother Jermaine is updating us on what's happening on in Shreveport. So go ahead, brother Jermaine.
Okay, so they put out 30 people without going to the courts. It was unlawful evictions. 30 people now, and one of them they arrested. The Shreveport Police Department. they set up some type of task force, illegal task force, some type of
Ladies.
illegal task force to get the people out of there. So yeah, definitely notable unlawful evictions that occurred. This is an absolute outrage. This is. Can you hear me? Can you hear me better now? Okay. So yeah, they put out 30 people. It was unlawful evictions. So 30 people was unlawfully evicted today. Yeah, unlawful. Right, by the Shreveport Police Department. Huh? What you say? No, what were you saying? No. Only thing we got is that news article I sent you. That was it. So there is footage out there. We don't know about it. Yeah, this happened this afternoon. And these were renters. These were people that were still left in the property after they turned off all the utilities, of course. Other people.
Yeah, I hear some feedback, but it's not coming from here. Quiet as a church mouse where I am right now because my dog.
That's my air conditioner in the background. That's probably what you guys are hearing, the AC. And so that's pretty much. But yeah, we don't have no footage or nothing. I don't know if any footage. I don't know. I could be missing something, but I didn't see any footage for just that news article. It's probably on the news report, like on a newscast or something. Get in contact with who? We don't know anybody's names. We don't even know nobody's names. All we know is what we're seeing on the news, and we don't have names or nothing of these people or families.
Greetings. I guess what you say. I don't know. Let me back up. I was gonna get mad, but then I had to calm down for a second. Just nobody can hear you on the Streamyard. They can hear the responses, but they can't hear you talking on the Streamyard. I'm in the back. I'm like watching from the outside. What? The other thing is, I had something else to say, but man, I'll just like, let me see if it's playing it now. The other thing is, can you say something? I had something else to say, but man, I'll just like, let me see if it's playing it now. The other thing is, can you say something? Yeah, okay, no, you can't hear you still. Anywho, so what? So this is an update from this morning show. Brother, Jermaine. Yeah. So, Brother Jermaine, did you have any? Did you have stuff linked to that so that we could show the people? Or I mean, like I'm catching up. I might didn't see this morning show, but I'm like, geez, 2 in 1 day for Shabaka. Huh? Like nobody else could do a show today. Like what's going on? So like saying that was there any an article or how'd you find out? All right, good. Good. That way we could, show the people, because like just hearing it about on the radio and that, show no one. It's kind of like it's very difficult, especially since we're simulcasting on Streamyard and to several different platforms. Well, I'm glad to hear that I'm glad to hear that there's an update. I'm not glad to hear about the update or what the update entails because it sounds like just some more atrocious behavior with no consequence. You know what I mean? Because that's what it sounds like. It sounds terrible.
Yes, it's unlawful evictions. That's what it was. They were unlawfully evicted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know because I have to turn down one thing.
What's better now?
Yeah, it's better for us, but we don't know if early year don't necessarily know because I have to turn one down to talk on the Streamyard, so or echo through the phone. I just called to get on for a quick second. I'm about to jump back off because I'm going to go to the store real fast.
Those are illegal. Yeah. Those are considered illegal evictions. Yeah, those are all criminal and illegal evictions.
How long are y'all going to be on for? Jesus. All right. All right. I was going to do my, it's like a, forgive me, Brother Jerome. Excuse me, Jermaine. Damn it, Jesse. Brother Jermaine, forgive me. This is, when we schedule our prospective broadcast, they have to coincide with the timing. You know what I mean? So I was going to read, I didn't get a chance to do mine yesterday. Hold on, Jesse, hold on. I didn't get to do mine yesterday. And so I was thinking about doing it, but it's like 90, it's like 80, it was 93 degrees in the house today over here. So it's starting to cool down. So I was like, well, let me just, now it's 82 degrees. So I was like, let me just try to go to the store and get what I need real fast before the store closes. Or else I'm never going to get out of this goddamn house because it's so hot. You know what I mean? That's why I didn't want to do this. For procrastinating on my program.
That's why I got my.
So I'll just tap back in, brothers, in a little bit. You know what I mean? I'll just tap back in as soon as I get back because it's almost gonna close. So I'll just tap back in. But yep. All right. So I'll see you guys. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Give me like 45 minutes. I'll tap back in, or y'all catch me when I do mine. Either way. Talk to you guys soon. Thank you.
That's pretty much it for now. And so, and of course, about all the other people put out all the other apartment complexes. So that's the latest on that one. No, not yet. We need to put that out there. What's going on with these local news stations? They have yet to even hear my. Oh, Tom, Tom. Oh no, I don't want to. I don't shit. I don't know why y'all tagged his ass.
Again, I would like a bit more fleshing out as to why these people were evicted illegally. What specifically was the
illegally
nature of the eviction?
No, they were forced out. They were forced out. They didn't go before a judge about it.
Well,
right. Now that's a unlawful eviction.
Oh, okay. Well, I did hear the term illegal evictions. That's why I asked about it. Okay, eminent domain is a was used quite famously in Chicago, in Bridgeport, which is by the way, an all-white neighborhood, for an exercise in eminent domain when the city seized a lot of the neighborhood to expand Comiskey Park, a baseball field, and the city of Chicago was able to get away with that despite the objections of the people there. The same thing with the expansion of O'Hare Airport. The city of Chicago used eminent domain to move people from the land because they said it was for purposes of public use. Now, what was the government's rationale for this exercise of eminent domain? What did the government say was the reason for it?
Hello? No, I said it's not a. No, I was responding to what you were saying. I said this is not about intimate domain thing, whatever that is. No.
Yeah, what was the government's rationale for the exercise of eminent domain? And if they did put these people off of land or property, how were they compensated? Because the Constitution requires a just compensation.
Sir, this is not the intimate. What you just said, the intimate domain thing or whatever that is.
Eminent domain is in the Fifth Amendment of the United States Constitution. Any government seizure of private property that's not related to a criminal or evidentiary procedure must be justified by the Fifth Amendment of the United States Constitution as an eminent domain seizure. So what was the government's rationale for doing so?
There was none. It was not justified, nor there was no rationale. There was none of that.
They didn't even offer one?
No.
They clearly can't do that. They have to give one. I mean, at some point, somebody's got to make them give the reason for it.
Their reason, this is their reason. This is their reason. But this has nothing to do with none of that. These people's rights were violated. Literally, that's like somebody just coming into an apartment complex. Hey, everybody, get out, get out, get out. No type of magistrate, no type of judges. And again, they're blaming it on the property owners, quote unquote, and I'm going to send y'all that article too, the water bills. The water bills have the water bills were in excess of almost nearly up to $30,000 plus. So that's not a reason to shut down an apartment complex.
Oh, so these people were tenants and they were being evicted from property that the landowners had because they didn't pay the utility bill.
No, the water bill, correct.
Oh, but they were tenants though. I'm trying to get this clear.
Right.
They were tenants in the property, and the utility bills were due to the government, or was the utility a government-owned utility?
It was due to the city.
Okay. So it was the government exercising.
Right.
So it was the government exercising a seizure under a forfeiture law that's related to failure to pay a government utility. Is that it?
No, that's not the one. I almost thought about that, but no, that's not it either. They're basically, the renters are suffering behind the owner's negligence, which everybody, their water was being paid through the lease. As part of the lease agreements, the water was paid with their rent. So why would the renters be responsible? The renters weren't responsible for that water. It was the landowner, the property owner. Yeah.
Is the city of Shreveport making any arrangements to accommodate these people while they're out of housing?
No, they've had some, but again, we're still left in the dark. We don't even have numbers. We don't know these people's names. All we know is that some were relocated to other properties. But then this is where it gets ugly. This is where it gets bad. The property they were going to send about 70 people to didn't want them. So in other words, I don't understand this one at all because we're still in the dark. We don't know anything, and the news ain't saying much. Only thing they're showing is that people didn't put out. That's it.
Okay, well, here's where I could basically understand not being familiar with the laws of Louisiana or the ordinances of the city with regard to this. So I guess, but I'm just speaking generally from what I know about these things in the past. The city or the state may have been on legal grounds to seize the property, but it would seem to me that if it was through no fault of the renters, they should have had in advance a solid plan to accommodate the people that were evicted until they could find other housing. Now, if that wasn't done, it seems to me as if you've got a case of, I forget what the title is, there's a specific legal name for it, I can't think what it is right now, that could be brought, well, certainly a class action suit that could be brought on behalf of the people that were evicted against someone, either the city's failure or the city or state's failure to accommodate, or the renters' failure to pay the utility bill. So I seems to me like there ought to be some sort of action you ought to be able to take collectively with regard to those renters not being accommodated after the landlord's property was seized.
The water and lights was included with the rent. The renters weren't responsible for anything but
I understand that. So I'm saying but I'm saying that even though they weren't, the bill wasn't paid. So I can understand the state seizing the property, but I don't understand them not making accommodations for the renters who were disaccommodated by the failure not their own. That's what I don't understand. Yeah,
there's still a lot that's unhoused.
Yeah, well, that's something I think there ought to be a basis for a class action suit on. That's what now that I got that fairly clear, I can see what you're talking about now. Again, I think it is likely that the city or the state had the right to take the property since the bill wasn't paid, depending upon what state law says. But again, not accommodating the renters is problematic, or at least seizing the property, letting the renters stay there while it's sorted out in the court. Seems to me like that's what should have been done.
Yeah, but this is criminal, and I will always say that it's criminal. It was done underhandedly, meaning these people never went before a judge. There was no final say. So why? These were unlawful.
Well, who's your attorney? If you manage to find any attorneys to take this case on?
They definitely need one. A lot of them need one.
Seems to me like a lot of law firms might be falling to take advantage if things are as you say they are. Because I mean, The renters paid the water bill, which is included in their rent.
Correct.
So it seems to me as if how much notice did everybody get on this?
Right, something ain't adding up because the renters were paying their water and lights through the lease. I mean through the lease agreement. So, I mean, something ain't adding up. How did all
did they get any notification of impending action before they got booted out?
This was like an abrupt last minute deal. So in other words, they gave them what is this, June? So this started last month. So they gave them up initially they gave them till the 14th. So that was less than 2 weeks. This can't fly. You guys got to find a lawyer, and you guys got to find it. This shouldn't fly. I don't know what the laws are in Louisiana, but I just can't see this being. I can't see this being all this shit is criminal.
No, they should have been able to accommodate those people while this matter is being pending, and especially to allow enough time for the people to seek other accommodation. 2 weeks is just ridiculous.
Right. And the thing is this: if you're living in an apartment for X amount of years, why would they be directing you to a local shelter? That's not accommodations. We're speaking of like hotels, motels, other properties. But yeah, y'all directing people to the local shelters. That's not right.
No, you guys ought to be able to find some law firm that'll take this case. Have you sought any legal counsel on this?
I mean, if y'all can put the word out, if y'all can find something, that'll be great. Just like a pro bono, because see, a lot of these people probably won't be able to afford, which is the saddest part. Won't be able to even afford an actual paid lawyer, so they will probably most likely a lot of them would need pro bono attorneys. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would think that you got a strong case for damages from the city and
definitely. And
the city hardship and suffering. Yeah, that'll be damages for this, depending on how long these people are out of their home. Depending on how long, they could get damages and hardship and suffering out of this. I would think a legal firm would fall all over itself to take this case, unless somebody in the government is intimidating every law firm in sight.
This is a lawyer's dream case. This is a dream case for a lawyer, because this one right here is a sure enough win for all the families.
And we can't evict squatters, for God's sake. You can't evict squatters and people who under those kind of terms, the people who haven't paid the rent for a year that easily in most jurisdictions.
That's right. We have squatter rights. So those, and excuse me for saying this, but those people that were calling that they claim that were squatters, guess what? Surprise! We have squatter rights in this state, so which means legally they were in there, they could have set up in there. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Louisiana has squatter right laws. Yeah.
I just don't understand why you haven't been able to find a law firm already. I can't figure that out. This is a case.
Gonna take.
I'm not even an attorney. I could see dollar signs behind this one.
Oh yeah, I see major dollar signs, but it's going to take people putting the word out. We need somebody to put the word out. I'm already putting the word out here in Shreveport, but these people don't take it. I've reached out to so many out here. They ain't returned our calls or nothing, as usual. So we're gonna need.
Yeah, I had a misunderstanding. I thought this was something else. I thought this was like eminent domain. This ain't eminent domain. It's just a pure and simple eviction.
That's why I kept saying it. This ain't no eminent domain situation.
No.
Yeah,
not what you're describing. I thought they were taking the property. I thought they were taking the property to build a highway extension or something. They can do that. But even when they do that, they got to compensate everybody for their trouble. That's what the Constitution says. And it's got to be just. A fair market value for being displaced. That means the property owners, that means the tenants, the cost of moving, setting up, everything else, they got to be properly compensated at fair market rate. And that's with eminent domain. Yeah, that's screwy, man. You ought to be able to do it. Somebody take
But yeah, y'all, we need to put the word about. We need to put the word out about attorneys, guys, and anybody that knows any pro bono or anybody that knows attorneys. definitely needed in Shreveport. So.
Well, I got somebody that might be interested in taking it up. I tell you what, I'll see if I can call him maybe tonight, and I'll get in touch with Shabaka, and I'll give him the information, and maybe he can forward it on to you.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because this thing don't sound right at all the way you described it.
No, it's all corruption, pure corruption.
No, it sounds to me like it's an arbitrary exercise in power on somebody's behalf. Yeah. And like I said, it sounds like something Democrats would do. No regard for due process of law, just like with Trump. These people don't care what they do as long as they get a power grab out of it. I'm going to keep saying it because it's true. Did you see what just happened in that case today? Did you hear about what's happening now? Something else that broke. It's big. Did you hear about it? Well, I'm going to delight in this. The New York Supreme Court now, not Trump's defense, but the New York Supreme Court advised all parties, the judge, the prosecution, and the defense, that a tweet on the Unified Court System's website said that a relative of one of the jurors told him that the guilty verdict on Trump was in before the verdict was delivered to the court. You do understand the implications of that, don't you, Jay? There you go. Very much a possibility. The only question is whether or not this tweet will be verified to be true. Now, if it can be, yes, it will have to result in a mistrial. The hush money, the so-called hush money case, yes.
There's something.
Again, the notification came from the New York Supreme Court. They notified all the parties in the case as they are obligated to once it came to their attention. No, the trial of conviction has already been rendered. The verdict has already been reached. Trial sentencing was scheduled for June 11th. What's going to have to happen now is everything's going to be on hold until this thing is investigated. I don't know how long that's going to be. I don't know. Don't ask me. The New York court system is totally out of order. It's totally corrupt. And I have no idea what the no good, rotten, low-down bastards are going to do. So don't ask me. I don't know. All I know is that now that there's official notification of this, certain things have to be done. They cannot ignore it. See, here was a tweet. Some guy named Michael Anderson, and this was posted on the Unified Court System's public Facebook page, and this is what it said. Michael Anderson, the user, said, "My cousin is a juror and says Trump is getting convicted. Thank you, folks, for all your hard work." So if that juror told his relative this, that is grounds for a mistrial. See, they shot themselves in the foot by not sequestering the jury. Now, if they'd have sequestered the jury, this would not have been likely to happen. To say nothing of that funky roadmap with the GPS instructions to the jury as to how you can find Trump to be guilty. I ain't never seen no jury instructions like that before. These Democrats are so damn corrupt, is just pathetic. The corruption is just staggering with these people. Staggering. No, it wouldn't be overturned. It would be grounds for a mistrial. It means it would be sent back to the court to convene a new trial, a new grand jury indictment, the whole ball of wax. We'd have to start all over again. From ground zero. I think that would be, if that was to happen, there would be no doubt whatsoever of that. Because they got to go through jury selection. First of all, they got to go back to the grand jury. With all this news about how funky the damn thing in the first place was, they're not even likely to get a grand jury indictment.
Sarge, all of them belong to go right straight to fucking jail.
See what I mean? He's going to ignore everything I just said. So it doesn't matter. See, that's what he's going to do. He knows, what this means. You know what this means. Even Che does. Che ain't arguing with me that if this is true, this is momentous. You, on the other hand, are saying they all need to go to jail, as though what I said is of no relevance. Again, the New York Supreme Court informed all parties of the case of this. It was on the Unified Court System website. You understand, Shabaka?
Okay, what I'm saying, Sarge, is this. This is the first time, man, that I've been on this planet since the Tricky Dick days, okay, where the presidency, the office of the presidency is highly, highly tainted. Not saying that I had faith in it in the first place. But the point is, black folk has always known that it was rigged, okay? But now you got white folk who are coming out here saying the same thing, Sarge. You see what I mean? So, you know, which is kind of unprecedented. You see what I mean? Because this country has never...
Okay, Shabaka, so then we got agreement on that. Why aren't you with Donald Trump on this one narrowly focused issue? You can hate him on everything else, but on this thing, which you acknowledge is an apparent corrupt violation of the judicial system, you ought to be with him. You ain't got to be with him on nothing else.
But Sarge, what I'm just saying is, I'm speaking of the corruption itself. Had it not been for Donald Trump, man, this corruption would not be as widespread.
Oh, now you want to blame it on him.
It is.
Oh, stop it.
Of course.
No, come off it. Oh, I'm not accepting that one. No. I reject that.
Well, Sarge. A lot of people believe that shit don't stink, but yet it does. Okay.
You mean like with when Joe Biden crapped himself in Normandy? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, Joe.
Yeah, that shit stank. Those veterans up there were turning up their noses. That's why they had to get them the fuck out of there. It's unbelievable, man.
Sarge. Okay, Sarge. What they need to do is take Donald Trump, escort his ass to San Francisco Bay, leave him out there on Alcatraz Island all by his lonesome. He can have Stormy Daniels with him and whatever, and the rest of his cronies, you know, that believe in him. And they can all walk the concrete together. You know what I mean?
Che, did you notice what he just did? Did you notice what he just did? You just noticed that? Okay, I rest my case. I ain't saying nothing. You see it. That's all we need to know.
Okay, but Sarge, now, what is your viewpoint on this corruption that's happening down there in Shreveport, Louisiana?
Oh, I already agreed with the brother on this. And I'm assuming the case is as he is relating it. What I hear from the gentleman is that there's a complete miscarriage of justice insofar as the manner in which these people were evicted through no fault of their own, and the failure of the landlord to pay the utility bills. The city has exercised this option to seize the property with no regard whatsoever for the plight of the tenants, or to see that they were accommodated while the proceedings went on, at least holding everything in abeyance until accommodations could be found and due notice of eviction could be given. If what he says is true, he ought to be able to find a bunch of lawyers willing to take this case as a class action suit on their behalf.
Okay. More so, well, a class action suit, Sarge, is that there's an amount of water that gets divided. Everybody needs to be visually to make it really hurt. You see what I'm saying?
Well, if you're going to do that, then you got to get individual attorneys because, you can't have a potential conflict of interest. So that means every tenant's going to have to get individual lawyers. But I'm saying if you want rapid action, I'm saying if you want rapid action, you'll have to get an attorney who's going to do a class action suit on behalf of all of them.
Okay, but Sarge, what happened to the guarantee that everybody has a right to a fair and speedy trial? Okay.
Wait a minute, don't mix apples and oranges. Don't mix apples and oranges. That is an event of a criminal trial. Everything we are describing now is a civil proceeding.
Okay, but Sarge, we're talking about corruption, man. Okay.
Well, yes, but that's not necessarily criminal. It may be, it could be.
Not necessarily criminal. Okay.
I said not necessarily. It could be criminal if a bribe is involved to cause this to come about, or some manner of extortion, extorting a public official to bypass the norms of accommodating the people who are harmfully evicted. Now that could make it criminal, but simple basic political corruption may or may not render it criminal. It certainly is civil.
Sarge, it stinks to high hell, man. Just
yes, it does.
Plus,
we agree on that.
Okay,
we agree on that.
Keep in mind, Sarge, that this is pretty much unprecedented ever since the days of Tricky Dick. Ladies and gentlemen, the American people have a right to know if their president is a crook. I am not a crook. Okay. So what it is, Sarge, is that the Constitution that you love so much, that states that when a government goes corrupt, that the people have a right to change it. And not only do they have a right to change it, they have a duty to change it. And I don't hear nobody in that Congress. I don't hear none of these clowns out here in mainstream media, man, mentioning that.
Shabaka, in case you haven't noticed, Donald Trump was tried in a court in the state of New York. There's no need to change the entire government of the United States because of the corruption and the funky, low-down, no-good, stank-ass bastards in New York that have run this farce of a Soviet show sham trial. Okay? New York is where all of this is concentrated right now. What?
Okay, but Donald Trump is not to be held accountable, right? Now, when
not
Barack
on this
Obama,
he ain't. No. I say again, not on this he isn't. He did nothing wrong whatsoever. There's nothing illegal about a non-disclosure agreement. There's nothing illegal about recording the expense for it as a personal business expense. It is not illegal to not put it as a campaign expense, which would have been in violation of federal election law. None of that is illegal. They're trying to put the man in jail over it.
Okay, so it's not illegal if the president does it, right?
I didn't say a damn thing about no president. I didn't say a damn thing about it. I said anyone who would do what they're accusing him of doing. Anyone. The only difference is, in this case, here's the difference, Shabaka. The difference is that in this case, that fat bastard Alvin Bragg was able to twist it into a federal election campaign violation over which he has no goddamn jurisdiction.
I see.
That's the difference. They wouldn't have been able to get you and me on this.
No, Sarge, what they would do with our black asses, man, they'll throw us under the goddamn jail, and you know it.
Please. At worst, they would have said, here's what they would have said. The statute of limitations on the misdemeanor charges has expired. There's nothing we can do. We don't have a federal election campaign law to twist it up into a felony. So the statute of limitations can run further. Don't you understand how this thing is so goddamn corrupt?
Sarge, you live in Chicago, Illinois, man. That there is the capital of
So you don't
corrupt
pay any
politics.
attention to what I just said.
No, Sarge, what I'm saying is I appreciate and respect what you said, Sarge. But at the same token, though, this clown, the orange dude, is not being held properly accountable.
Okay.
Just on the case that
this
this
there's
dude,
nothing to hold him accountable for. Maybe there's something else, but not this. You just said a moment ago, if it was me, you just said a minute ago, if it was you and me, they'd throw us into jail. No, they wouldn't, because they wouldn't have had no federal election campaign law to twist it up into. So they couldn't have done it to us.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They did it to Trump because he's running for president, and they're scared the fucking death of him. That's why.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, Sarge, to quote the words of that police chief that said, the police captain that said in Harlem, when Malcolm X had went up there to protest and bring attention to the beating of Brother Johnson, okay, what did the police captain say? That is too much power for one man to have. And Trump has too much power.
I see you sound like a Soviet now. Thank you. You revealed yourself.
Like a Soviet, man, and they don't mean
show me the man.
Good either.
Show me the man, and I'll show you the crime. You sound like Laventia Beria. That's what you sound like. Stalin's secret police chief.
Sarge. Okay, Sarge, stop it. There's no police station.
Yeah, show me the man, I'll show you the crime. That's what he said.
Okay. That is more corrupt here in the United States is because they come up with the lie that everybody has all these rights, and then when the police pull people over illegally, such as yours truly, when they handcuff people right there, oh, well, we're just putting the cuffs on you, you're just being detained. Well, if you're being detained, why are you putting handcuffs on them? Because when you put handcuffs on somebody, you have just stopped their freedom of movement.
Yes, you are taking them into custody
as an arrest.
And they are doing it to minimize the likelihood of you fleeing while you're being investigated. There's no doubt you are being taken into custody when they do that. So any compensation they're not doing it is lying to you.
Well, Sarge, that's my point. They full of shit, okay? Like Trump is.
Yeah, but don't say they can't do it. Don't say they can't do it without proper grounds.
Sarge, in the city of Los Angeles, they don't need no proper grounds. Oh, and by the way, Sarge, here's just a little bit of tidbit of information for you. Your boy, Mark Furman, a guy that you love and what have you, the great state of California has stripped him of all his police powers. And what the LAPD should have done was should have fired his ass, and they should have kept his fucking pension for plant evidence against A1 Orenthal James Simpson, now deceased. Okay?
Wait a minute. I mean, they never accused him of that, so you're just making that up.
No, Sarge, just a headline story right here. Here you go, gruesome news, out the great state of California. That's what they said. They stripped old Furman, man, of his police powers.
All right, you know what that is? You know what that is? Let me tell you what that is. He was already retired from LAPD. Now, LAPD has a system where if you are ever certified as a law enforcement officer, then you retain the ability based upon the fact that you served as a law enforcement officer and you passed the certified state training police academy, that you could be employed by another agency somewhere in the state of California. All they did was remove that ability from him because he's a TV celebrity now. He's a consultant. He's got all kind of books. So I suppose it won't matter. I suppose it means something, but it ain't that big a deal, actually. And what were the grounds for stripping him anyway? Did they say he committed some kind of violation? What did he do to lose it?
Sarge. I want
to know what they said he did. That's all. What did he do?
Sarge, I'm about to tell you.
Don't give me a secret police explanation. Give me a basis founded in Los Angeles or California law or regulation. What was the reason they gave for taking this away?
Oh, okay, Sarge. When they brought out those tapes in the O.J. Simpson trial, Mark Furman gets up here and states, quote, now let's turn back to 1994, criminal courts building, man, that sits right over there, man, from the LA County courthouse that sits, like a block and a half, man, from Los Angeles City Hall. He says, when we do our investigations, when he was working CRASH, Community Resources Against Street Hoodlums, he says, we bring in 5 niggas, okay? We beat the first nigga, then we beat the second nigga, worse than we did the first nigga. We beat the third nigga, worse than we did the second nigga. The fourth nigga is what is going to tell us what we want to know, and the fifth nigga is going to affirm it. Yeah, sounds like fine, upstanding police interrogations.
So that is what he wrote for a screenplay. What did he do that they actually had to hang?
No, he had testified this. No, what he did, Sarge, he was being recorded, being interviewed for a book deal, I believe, about LAPD.
Yeah, and that was part of a screenplay that he wrote.
Okay, but Sarge,
that's what the woman testified to in court.
Okay, but Sarge, it was common practice of the LAPD.
All right, wait a minute. See, now you see how you make that leap. Look what you just did. I'll touch you every time you do this. Look, Mark Perman was writing a screenplay. These are words and that you have admitted sound appropriate to what corrupt LAPD officers might actually say, right? Right?
Okay, Sarge, I'm going to tell you another scenario.
What did he do? Wait a minute. Since even according to you, he is reflecting the dialogue that corrupt racist LAPD officers might use talking to each other or describing their actions accurately. And now you were saying that is grounds to strip him of his police powers? Since when?
Well,
how?
Okay, well, they stripped him of his police powers as of yesterday, according to Gruesome Newsom. You know what I mean?
So I ask you again, what was the grounds?
Okay, because of his brutalization, Sarge, and plus of his perjury that he did in O.J. Simpson
then what
case.
you just said ain't going to cut it. That was for a screenplay, a fictional screenplay. What did he do that related to that?
Sarge, when he sat up there and stated the way how they interrogate niggas.
Oh, God, I guess I ain't really answering. Your Honor, that answer is non-responsive.
Okay, well, why don't we talk to some of the victims that he did this here to, Sarge? And too bad that Johnny Cochran is deceased.
Who were they?
Okay, the ones that he grabbed.
Who were they? Did they come forward to attest to this under sworn deposition?
No, but Sarge, Furman
they were.
said.
So you supposed to make up somebody?
No, Sarge, I'm going by what I heard Furman say, man, during the O.J. Simpson trial when that evidence was introduced, okay? Now, I may be old, man, but I'm not senile yet. I know what I heard, Sarge.
All right, I got you. Now, let me ask you a question here. I'm not saying that he didn't do these things. How the hell do I know? I'm not with the guy all of his life. He might have done these things.
Right,
but I'm not going to say he did, and nobody's even accusing him of it.
Okay, Sarge, what you are exercising right there, sir, is what Bill Clinton called deniable plausibility. Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm waiting for evidence that he did it.
Sarge, the only thing I can say about that
we do live in the United States where that's kind of important. I know you want to live in the Soviet Union and all, but we don't want to do that here.
No, it's too cold in the Soviet Union, Sarge. I can't take cold.
That's right.
Okay.
So let's not do that here.
It's too cold.
Let them do that over there.
But Sarge, to quote the words of Sidney Poitier in the movie In the Heat of the Night, you got white time in jail and you got colored time in jail. And the worst type of time to do is colored time. You know this, Sarge. You know this.
Okay, I love the way you just narrate on and on.
Okay, but hold on, Sarge. But let's look at and let's stay on topic of what's happening down there in New Orleans, Louisiana. Okay, well, you got human rights violations. Okay, where they turned off the water, another human rights violation. Where they're not picking up the trash, another human rights violation. Okay, and the Shreveport Police Department goes put these people out of semi-habitable housing and made them homeless. Understand?
Well,
but you're not addressing that issue,
I've already stipulated that there's something funky about that. and they need to get an attorney and start legal proceedings right away.
Okay. Well, what's wrong with the governor of Louisiana, Sarge, signing in an executive order to investigate this atrocity? After all, it's an election year, Sarge. You know what I'm saying? Now, if his ass is up for re-election this year, I know some of his cronies are.
I don't know if there's anything wrong with it. I don't know what the authority of the governor's office is with regards to matters like this. But if he can do it, maybe he ought to.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. But what it is, though, Sarge, it's a bunch of BS of what they're doing to these people, and it's a human rights violation. Sarge, why don't you just go on in and say that in the mid?
I'm not going to go that far. No, I'm not going to go that far. No.
Why will you not go that far?
Now you're going a bridge too far.
How's that, Sarge?
You're going a bridge too far with that one. Again, now you're going to elevate it to the level of a United Nations matter, and it's not that.
It is, Sarge. It's a human rights violation.
Oh, stop. First of all, we don't recognize the jurisdiction of the United States to interfere in any domestic matters in the United States. Period. End of story. They have no jurisdiction. None. Zero. None. They can send us nasty grams all they want. They have no legal import whatsoever. None. Zero.
Sarge. Okay.
We're on a damn UN Human Rights Council. The UN Human Rights Council. They can send us every nasty gram they want. You're the mean people. We don't like you. Let them send them.
Sarge. Only thing I can say, man.
Let's file them in a circular file.
Okay, Sarge, this crap is corrupted. It stinks to high hell. You know it.
Okay, now I agree with you on that.
And the American people.
So let's leave it at that. Let's stop with the human rights violation, okay? Yeah, I agree with you on that. It smells like corruption. It looks like corruption. And somebody needs to get an attorney to look into it. On that, we have agreement. Yes.
Okay. And now, also, too, Sarge, why should I get up off of my comfortable couch to waste my time to vote for any of these crooks at the state level, city level, federal level, whatever?
I ain't gonna. If you don't think it's not, if you think it's not worth voting, I have no intention of trying to change your mind. I'm just gonna say that I intend to, and I tell everybody who's there they ought to vote for or against somebody. But that's up to them.
Who are you voting for, Sarge? And that question is
Donald John Trump.
Already.
I'm voting for Donald John Trump and his running mate, whoever that may be. You see how quickly my answer came? Again, let me say it again. For President of the United States, I intend to vote for Donald John Trump and whoever he picks as his running mate.
Okay. Now, suppose if it's
Want me to say it a third time? Want me to say it a third time?
Suppose if his running mate is
I
Uncle
intend to
Tim
vote for
Scott.
Donald John Trump and whoever he chooses to pick as his running mate. I said it first time you want me to.
Okay. Sarge, man, how I feel sorry for you. Okay, but however, you have a right
to you're welcome.
As you wish. Okay, now, let me ask you this here. You and I have had past arguments, and we will have future arguments, ma'am, on public administration. And you do know that it was the ancient comedians that came up with the concept of public administration. You understand that, right?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Are you familiar with the principles of Mayat, of good deeds and good speech?
Yes.
I can't hear you, Sarge.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. All right. So now, Sarge, with a man of your intelligence, okay, and your fair reasoning, and you stand on your own square, I can't take that from you. Why can't you not see that Donald Trump, Joe Biden, that both of these idiots are two sides of the same coin? And they always want to go to black people to get our votes. Why do they do that, Sarge?
One, the first reason is I don't follow your reasoning. They are two sides of the same coin. I think the reason he's being persecuted is because rightly or wrongly, these goddamn demon rats perceive him as a threat to their agenda. Whether they are correct or not, that is what they perceive, and that is why they are proceeding against them with this persecution in a manner that they are. As to your second question, and your second question was what again?
Okay, the second question is, why should we get up off of our couches?
Oh, no, you said, why do they always go to the black community for votes?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that is correct.
Okay, now the reason is this, because the black community, for reasons known only to itself and to we who live with black people for most of our lives, the black community votes in blocks. They give blocks of votes to whomever they decide to give their blocks of votes to. That is a significant amount of votes for any politician to appeal to. And that is why, precisely why, both the Democrats and the Republicans are trying to get it.
Okay, but Sarge. Okay, but they don't do nothing for us, Sarge. They have not ever done anything.
Well, that's another argument then.
For us.
That's another discussion.
Okay. Okay.
You asked me why. You asked me why are they trying to get it?
Yeah. Yeah, so they can keep lying to us and playing us for chumps again. They do it all the time, Sarge.
Okay, so I keep voting for Democrats all the time. Don't vote for either one of them then. Don't vote for Republicans, don't vote for the Democrats if that's what you believe.
Sarge, I don't. You will not
but
get
why
an
do they keep voting for Democrats all the time then? The Democrats govern their lives mostly in day-to-day activities in these big cities, not the Republicans.
Okay, but Sarge, the point is what I'm getting at.
Would you agree with me or not?
Okay, Sarge, what I agree with, is that we should be going out here, man, serving our own self-interest, period. You see what I'm saying? Period. Okay. We should be serving our own self-interest.
And that would automatically exclude the Democrats, if that's true.
Okay.
That would automatically exclude the Democrats.
Sarge.
We can argue about the Republicans, but there should be no argument about the Democrats.
Okay, Sarge, I say abandon both of these parties and set up our own political parties with a black first agenda. The only person that I'm voting for any political office, Sarge, that I'm legally able to would be Jesse Paris. It's because Jesse Paris has been out there. Jesse Paris has been in touch with the people. Okay, they hate Mr. Paris's message there in the Mile High City. You see what I mean? Is because the only thing they want us to do, Sarge, is to be complacent, scratch our ass when it don't itch, grin when nothing is funny. You see what I mean? And this is disgusting, man. It really is. And it should be an insult to your intelligence.
That would be a principal position then. So then I don't know why you can't convince more people to do that, rather than continuously, mindlessly, like a bunch of robotic zombies pulling the lever for the Democrats all the time, who have shown they don't have black people's interests at heart by their actions and their results.
Sarge. Okay, see, Sarge, guys like me, they shadow ban. You see what I'm saying? Joe Gibson shadow bans me. Other platforms have shadow banned Frontline Black News. Okay, is because they cannot deal with this heat. Okay? They can't deal with it. They say, and we're going to keep it up in their face, Sarge, until, till my demise, you know what I'm saying, which should be anytime soon, just off the law of physics, you see what I mean, or biophysics, I should say. And say, but I'll be damned, Sarge, if I'm going to sit up here and say is that it is appropriate for our young men to go out here and wear dresses. I will be damned if I'll sit up here and advocate a man shoving ketchup up his ass, talking about that he's having a menstrual cycle.
Again, all of this is inspired by the Democrats.
Sarge, you don't get no argument from me on that, man. That's what I'm trying to get you to see. I don't give a damn about these Democrats,
you ain't got to get me to see it. I've got to tell you and everybody else. Keep voting for Democrats.
See? Sarge, I don't waste my time with them. Okay,
how many times have you ever heard me say y'all should vote for Republicans? How many times have you ever heard? You ain't never heard that from me. You heard me say I'm gonna vote for a Trump, but even I don't say vote for Republicans. But I'm saying if you were to pick one of the parties, it makes more sense to pick the Republicans.
Oh, yeah, we got to call out the 404 area code. The last three is 111. Just press one, and we'll be more than happy to have you on the air. And what we're doing is folks, is that we're having a special edition. And we're trying not to turn it into the comedies because sometimes we get some of the most asinine and dumbest questions up here. But however, everybody has a right to feel and do what they want. You're all over the age of 21. You're grown. And our chat room is open for hate mail. And let's check our chat room for our hate mail. Okay, if this raggedy piece of shit decides to connect. Okay, we have nobody in the chat room. Okay. Yep, okay, 404, okay, if they choose to listen, that's great, that's beautiful. But our main story tonight, 404, is that we're talking about these inhumane positions, these inhumane conditions that people are living in an apartment complexes, a series of them by the same owners where they have no water, okay, where they have no air conditioning. Trash is all over the place, okay, just call it here after 398, okay. All right, 398, your phone is unmuted, and what's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, peace, what's going on, Shabaka? This is MD.
Hey, MD, how you doing, man? And welcome again, man. It's always a pleasure to have you, man. You know what I'm saying? We got the one and only Sarge, the avid Donald Duck Dump, as in human shit supporter. And Sarge stands his ground. Now, Sarge is a tough cookie now. Sarge is very, very well read. You know what I'm saying? And what have you. And then, of course, MD, as you do know, man, is that we've been on top of the situation in Shreveport, Louisiana. And then, you know, there are children in there, man, who have been exposed to mold also, too. Man, they got rodents running around there. And then, as you do know, MD, this is down in Louisiana, and the humidity is 100%, which is a perfect incubator for bacteria. Now, Sarge says, why keep voting for the damn Democrats that allows this type of crap to continue? And MD20, it doesn't matter if they're a Republican or a Democrat, man. Neither one of these parties, man, serve our interests, none whatsoever, okay? Now, Barack Obama, when he was in office, he was more worried about a rainbow coalition as opposed to the police murdering unarmed Black people, which is a human rights violation in itself. You ain't heard nothing from the United Nations on it because they're on the puppet strings of the United States. You ain't heard nothing from the likes of Sarge because Sarge is Sarge. And you know damn well, MD, ain't no white conservatives, man, gonna come over there and concentrate on it. You know what I mean? Because, you know, white America loves to see unarmed Black people murdered by the police, just like that Marine that strangled that man, you know, who only weighed 120 pounds on the New York subway, who was hungry. And that man was murdered by a Marine who outweighed him, who was specially trained because I recognize the tactics that he used. That was murder. But the state of New York, they didn't go and prosecute him. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, he did the public a service. Now, let a Black man even get accused of something like that, hey, man, and then you got SWAT and special police units going in, kicking in his door, probably shooting him while he's in the bed. Just like what they did to Breonna Taylor. You know?
Stop. Oh, stop. You see what the Black woman just got away with, got acquitted of murder of a white fireman who was doing a chokehold on her boyfriend. And she went up to him when she couldn't get him to stop. The guy, it was a fireman. They had a dispute. They got into a fight. The fireman had a boyfriend in a chokehold and was doing him in. The Black woman went to her car, got a gun, came out and shot him in his head. He died. She just got acquitted of murder. So stop it.
That's not murder, Sarge. Sarge.
She got acquitted of the murder charge.
Of loved ones, Sarge. The fireman should not have had an old man up there in the chokehold, Sarge.
To what you just said.
Sarge, I've never known you, man, to sit up there, man, and contradict yourself, and you just did. You had stated that the fireman had this black man in a chokehold, okay? And it's very, very easy to die from a chokehold, Sarge. Now, what are you going to say? Like with that corrupt-ass police chief who's dead and may rest in peace by the name of Daryl Gates? Well, the reason why black people die of the chokehold because their ventricle veins do not reopen up in their neck to get oxygen to the brain as
Shabaka,
in normal
I
people.
was responding to what you said. You said a black person would not get away with a similar thing that Daniel Penny did. That's what you said. And I responded directly to it by giving you a recent example of a black woman who was acquitted of the same sort of thing, which you said doesn't happen.
Okay, but Sarge, she was protecting the loved one. Now,
okay, that's what the jury found.
Okay, whoa. Hold on, Sarge. Now, did this black woman have children, and was this man the father of said children?
Okay, look, remember okay, I don't know about that fact. But you have wait a minute, you have the right to use deadly force in lawful defense of yourself. Wait for it now, and another. They don't have to be related in any way.
Okay, Sarge. So is it a possibility? Is that this is what this black woman did, or is she just some blood?
What did I just say? That's what the jury found.
Okay,
that's what the jury found.
But you stated, Sarge, and this is your exact words, that she murdered the fireman. Okay.
I said she was acquitted of murder. That's what I said. Acquitted of a murder charge. That's not the same thing as saying she murdered somebody.
Okay, Sarge. She never should have been arrested in the first place if the investigating police
neither should Daniel Penny.
Oh, no. Daniel Penny belongs in jail. No.
Well, see, that's where we disagree, and that's what a jury will determine.
Okay, Sarge.
Here's the more important question, though, Shabaka. Was that firefighter in a legal position to put that man in a chokehold? I would say he wasn't, because that's not his job.
Exactly.
They were having a fight. They were having a personal dispute. There was a fight between them. I saw the video. It started inside the gas station. They had words with each other.
Okay, Sarge. Did this fireman and this black man know each other, or were they acquainted by any
I don't think they did. No, it doesn't seem as if they did before they encountered each other in the gas station. They had some kind of dispute for whatever reason that I don't know.
Okay. All righty. And he went on and decided to put the black man in the chokehold. Now, did the black man attack the firefighter, Sarge?
It would appear that he threw the first punch. I said it appeared from the video he threw the first punch.
Okay, Sarge. Now, the next important question is, did he connect with the punch? Because if he didn't, then the firefighter was not assaulted.
Okay, this is crazy. Do you know what the definition of assault is? Will you stop it?
Sarge,
wait a minute, do you know what the legal definition of assault is in most every jurisdiction? It is to offer a battery. Do you know what a battery is?
Battery is actual contact, Sarge.
Yes, so assault is offering a battery. That's what assault is.
Sarge.
The offering, if you're shooting somebody and miss, that is aggravated assault.
No, sir, that is attempted murder.
Yes, it is.
If you're busting a cap. Yeah, if you're busting a cap at somebody, just like how that cop murdered Walter Scott down in Carolina.
Aggravated assault if you miss.
Sarge, just admit it, man. Okay. I ain't mad at you,
I done got you now, and now you got to change the subject.
No, you ain't got me, Sarge. You ain't got me.
The reason
why I insist, no, you didn't, Sarge. You are steadfasted due to cognitive dissonance on your position on this particular matter, which is your perfect right, and I'm too old to raise my blood pressure, man, and to argue bullshit.
All right, okay. I tell you what, Shabaka, why don't you tell me how offering a battery, meaning a punch that missed, a credible punch that is intended to make contact, but either the firefighter slips it and avoids it, or you simply miss because you swung wildly. How is that not an assault?
Okay, that there, any best charge would be a Class C misdemeanor in some states. Attempted.
Okay, so now you're admitting that it is. Thank you. We can move on now. Thank you. I appreciate that.
That firefighter. Okay. Okay, and we also too have another caller here out of the area code 520. Last 3 is 320. If you care to join in our conversation, and we're inviting you to do so, please press 1. We'll be more than happy to unmute your mic. We are arguing with the one and only Sarge. And Sarge is a tough customer. Okay, 520, I'm unmuting your microphone. Okay, it's not Sarge, just like Joe Frazier to Ali. Okay, 520, last 3, 320. What's your name and where you calling from?
Greetings, this is Akshita Veda.
Ding, 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 ding.
Hey, how you doing? Long time no hear. What's up?
Yeah, welcome to Sin City. We got the one and only Sarge, ladies and gentlemen, and Akshita. I'm going to sit up here and let you talk to Sarge for a minute because I have to go back to my corner. I'm not as young as I used to be. I might have to get a little bit of swell and what have you and put some ice on my left jab so I come out blazing and dazing and leaning and sheening. Triple jab, right cross, left hook, right uppercut, left hook, overhand, right? The sting like a big conversation. Sister, actually, please talk some sense in it, Sarge.
That was a nice introduction. I like it.
All right. Okay. Now, when we're discussing, Sister. Okay, and of course, Sister Akshita, I know that your platform is aware of what's happening in Fort Louisiana. Okay, with this illegally, people down there, they have no place to go, and they are currently up on their rents. And then additional that came in, the landlords have refused additional money from them. The landlords are out-of-state owners of New York State. Okay, so they either using this place as a tax shelter. Oh yeah, it's horrible. Yes, Sister Akshita, we've been on this situation for the last 3 days now, and it was brought to our attention by a brother, who's down in Shreveport, Louisiana, and hopefully, he will call back in. And as you know, Sister, being in. Yes.
Hey, I just wanted to ask real quick. I want to reiterate what I said on the video earlier today.
Yes.
It is to my understanding that Jason Blacc lives in Shreveport. I've seen news clips that go back talking about this story from a month ago.
Right.
Why haven't we heard anything in regards to a call to action with Jason Blacc? That's what I want to know.
Okay, that, sir, I don't know, MD, and that is a very, very good question. And that is a very, very good question on that day, MD20, because if you could best believe there's something out here on the west on my beat, man, of some significance, I'm going to be on top of it. They say, but, yeah. And that's a very legitimate question to ask too, MD. You know what I'm saying? Without a doubt. Because it seems to me, man, is that he should have. Go ahead, Akshita.
Oh, no, I was going to say, no, for real, that is because, we have so many people out here that are on social media grabbing the attention of the people, but when it's something to really stand on, you don't hear nothing from them. They're not the ones reporting the news.
Exactly, and that's why we're on it, man, because it was brought to our attention by a brother from Shreveport, Louisiana. And for the last 3 episodes, including this special edition, we have been on that situation, is because, we might have loved ones in similar situations down in there, because, as you know, here in California, there's quite a few people from Louisiana that moved to California, Los Angeles, and Panthertown. Even Huey Newton himself was from Louisiana. You see what I mean?
Okay.
So that's why we're on it. Yeah, and that's why we're on it. But the one and only Sarge, who's an avid Dump supporter, and I want to make that perfectly clear. Dump as in human shit, and I want to make that perfectly clear, to quote another crook, old Tricky. Has the initiative process. That I don't know. A lot of states have it, okay, but a lot of other states don't have it, is because the states that do not have the initiative process, their reasoning is that's what the state legislature is for. But state legislators, like municipal politicians, they're corrupt, graft and corrupt. Dude, the orange guy, you know what I'm saying? Now, Sarge has a right to vote for and advocate for who he wishes, all right? But he crumb bums on us when we tell him about the dump, as in human shit, and we want to make that perfectly clear, who has been convicted of 36 felonies. Wow. My God, nobody has ever been convicted of 36 felonies, Sarge.
Look, I want to take you back for a minute, because you talk about Trump all the time. But this situation in Shreveport, though,
yes,
I do want to say this. I do appreciate how y'all do be up on what's going on in different places.
Yes.
And
yes, ma'am.
bringing awareness and attention with the use of Frontline Black News.
Yes.
To
yes,
report,
ma'am.
because in a lot of different instances, I wouldn't know what was going on, so I do like to tune in to find out, to hear what y'all have, popping in the news or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yes, ma'am.
I would encourage people to come on for that reason, and also, I guess I wanted to hear what Sarge was on when I called in. Because y'all was like y'all was into something, and I hear your standpoint on it. But I kind of wanted to hear what Sarge was talking about, because I don't never be on here with Sarge.
Ma'am.
And I thought you was going to let Sarge talk to, and then you ain't let
Sarge talk. Sarge's mic. Yes, ma'am. Okay, Sarge's mic is unmuted, and, he's welcome to comment at any time. Okay, Sarge, Sister Akshita asked for your comment, Sarge. Come on with it. And I'm not going to say nothing, Sarge.
Well, did you want my opinion on what I heard about Shreveport, or was it something else?
Well, I mean, whatever you want to talk about. What's on your heart?
Oh, well, I was just here at the general behest of Brother Shabaka. He asked me to come on in to weigh in on the events of the day that he was talking about. What I'd like to talk about, though, specifically, the things that have been encroaching on my mind and things that are of concern to me is the utter, absolute, total, and irrevocable, ineluctable, inevitable corruption out of the New York courts with regard to Donald Trump. I've never seen anything this bad in my life in a major case ever. It's the worst I've ever seen.
Sarge. And you did your work in the city of Chicago, Sarge, and you telling me, Sarge?
Yeah, I ain't never seen nothing that bad in Chicago. Ever. Not even with some street thug punk.
Okay, Sarge, you ought to try a cesspool called Los Angeles, man.
The
You know what I'm saying?
of the United States.
Sarge, he's a damn crook and he belongs to go right straight to fucking
I ain't never
jail.
seen no thug treated this bad in the courts in Cook County.
Oh my God.
And I mean it.
Oh my God.
Hey, let me
Okay,
ask
sorry.
Go ahead,
What do
MD.
you think?
Yeah, go ahead, MD.
What do you think about the latest findings by Judge Merchan in regards to him wanting to see about this Facebook post that allegedly was put up prior to the conviction?
We were just talking.
I just want to get it straight, sir. I just want to get straight the chronology of that. That was not an initiative.
Do you think there's any validity?
That was not an initiative by Judge Marchant. The New York State Supreme Court informed all of the authorities in the case, the defense, the prosecution, everyone, that a Facebook post had been made on the New York Unified Court System website that said the Trump jury verdict had been leaked to a relative of one of the jurors before the deliberation by the jury was rendered to the court. And that is automatically grounds for an investigation to determine the truth of it. And if it is sustained, it is automatic grounds for a mistrial, meaning that Alvin Bragg will have to refile the entire case all over again, starting with a new grand jury indictment.
Okay, on that reasoning right there, Sarge.
You wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, and not only that, not only that, MD 20, then that means based on what you're saying right there, Sarge, is that the courts in the city and county of New York need to go up there to get the orange dude, throw his ass in a pair of handcuffs, and take his sorry stinking ass straight to Rikers Island.
You're not
my point, Sarge.
You're not understanding the import of this. This holds at the sentencing. He's already been convicted. The sentencing was scheduled for July 11th. This throws everything in the crapper until this is resolved. This has to be resolved before the sentencing. It has to be.
Here's the issue, though, Shabaka. If he's convicted of 34 felony charges, right after we get convicted, the judge will say, bailiff, take him away. Why did that not happen?
Throw his ass in the lockup. Yes, sir. Happened to yours truly.
Sarge, why did that happen?
Why did that not?
I will tell you why, and I've already told you, Shabaka. I've already told you why, Shabaka, because, and you refuse to listen to me, you will not give this
interview. It was the MD that asked the question,
even the judge
Sarge.
is aware of why you cannot do that. Because it is a national security issue.
Sarge.
He is a former president of the United States who retains knowledge of national security information. The Secret Service will not allow him to be taken away from their protection. They cannot allow it.
Sarge, throw
Did
the
you
dope
hear what
on
I just
Alcatraz.
said?
Sarge,
Yes,
don't blow
I
against
did, Sarge, and to solve that issue is throw his ass on Alcatraz Island out there in the middle of Frisco Bay. The Secret Service can patrol Frisco Bay. Then also, too, he could put his Secret Service agents right there. Yes,
you got to make arrangements to do
is working in concrete and being inside of a fucking cell.
The bailiffs are not responsible by congressional law to protect a former president of the United States from harm. That's why you can't turn them over to the bailiffs.
Okay, but Sarge, you can put his Secret Service agents right out there on Alcatraz Island. The place has been abandoned for 60 years. Sarge, the environment is...
Jails got solitary confinement. Jails got protective custody.
One more time. Right. They are not charged by the Congress of the United States with the protection of the former president of the United States. This is a separation of powers issue.
Okay, but Sarge, Alcatraz was a federal penitentiary. Okay, MD.
Put the Secret Service
go ahead, MD.
Put Secret Service
exactly.
right on in the jail cell with it.
Okay, what I'm trying to explain to you, gentlemen, listen to me. What I'm trying to explain to you is that these accommodations would have to be made first. Then you can do it.
Okay, Sarge. They can go out.
You want to turn him over to the bailiffs yesterday. That's what you just said.
Okay, Sarge, he should have been turned over to the bailiffs as soon as he got convicted. Just like, if that was him and I,
so make the proper arrangements first.
Okay, Sarge, please listen. Just like what MD20 just brought up right there. If that was him, if that was me, if that was Brother Paris,
we're not former presidents of the United States.
Oh God! Okay, Sarge.
It is a national security issue. What are you going to do? Lobotomize him before you put him in jail?
So Sarge, doesn't that go along with the Supreme Court's decision saying that, in fact, the president does have qualified ultimate immunity overall? Because
no. I'm not even saying
you can't jail.
No. You guys are totally no. Let me explain to you exactly what I mean. I'm not saying the president cannot be incarcerated for crime. I do not believe, no matter what the Supreme Court says, I do not believe he enjoys total immunity from anything for being a president. I think he does enjoy qualified immunity for actions he takes within the White House while he's in president, for actions that are within the scope of his duties. For that, he does enjoy immunity on those grounds alone. Now, this had nothing to do with his presidency. So on this thing, if he gets convicted, he could theoretically be incarcerated. So you understand me? I'm not saying he can't be served a sentence. I'm saying wherever he serves, the Secret Service has to be satisfied that they were able to protect this person and guard the security interests and prestige of the United States of America as they are required to do by law. That's what I'm saying.
And then they should start, Sarge. Then they need to take a flight to San Francisco, go down there to Fisherman's Wharf, get on one of those ships, go straight to Alcatraz Island. You can't miss it. It's the only island out there in the middle of Frisco Bay. Okay, investigate the place, set up his cell, make sure he's got crappy water, make sure the toilet doesn't work, make sure he's got on his jumpsuit, and let him take his chances like the rest of us do, Sarge, when we get incarcerated.
What did I just say? They got to make those arrangements first, not execute first and then trial later. First, you make the accommodation. Once they are arranged, then you put the president in there. It would be simpler to do what they did to the corrupt DA, Marilyn Mosby in Baltimore. That federal judge gave that rotten, no good skank house arrest.
Sarge.
And she was a prosecutor, and she got caught with fraud, and she was an attorney, and she got caught doing wrong, convicted, and the judge put her under house arrest because she said her daughter didn't need to see her go to jail.
I'm not understanding why you worried about national security so much. You wasn't worried about it too much with Trump having those classified documents down there in Florida.
He is the president of the United States. with a Department of the Navy versus Egan, 1988. The president has plenary power to classify or declassify at will. No one can gainsay or say he cannot do it. He doesn't have to seek approval from any goddamn bureaucrat. That's what the Supreme Court said. The president has total declassification authority, period.
So
he had the authority to have those documents.
Locking him up then. Well, if he could declassify anything, what's the problem? What's
because he's not being charged with possessing unclassified documents. He's being charged according to Jack Smith. No, he's being charged according to Jack Smith with letting people who are unauthorized to see them. That's what he's saying.
Donald Trump was on the boat talking to everybody else that didn't have security clearance about the classified.
Let me explain something to you. Think about this. I want you to think this logically. Just be logical for a minute. If the president declassified them, then whatever he let anybody see after he declassified him was, wait for it now, an unclassified document.
Mm-hmm.
How was that signaled to the Department of Homeland Security?
Again,
they didn't know anything. What you just said,
again,
DHS did not know.
So what you are saying to me is, and that issue has not been raised. And what you are saying to me is that if DHS doesn't know about it, the president doesn't have the authority to do it. That's not possible. That's not even logical.
Okay, but sorry.
It is
you got
logical.
all these corrupt ass politicians.
There is a mechanism to notify the classifying agency, and that's the only one that's required to be notified. Whatever federal agency classified the document originally, then the president, after he declassifies it, and the moment he decides it is declassified, it is. Nothing else matters as far as that's concerned. But there is a mechanism for the president to then notify the agency that originally classified it that it is now declassified. That's all. That's the only requirement.
Okay,
but it's still declassified the moment, the second that the president says it is.
Okay, Sarge. So what you're saying is it's like what Tricky Dick said 50 years ago.
The Supreme Court said it, not me.
The president.
Supreme Court did. Don't blame Supreme Court. Don't blame me. I didn't make it in ruling.
Okay, now Sarge, getting back to Shreveport, Louisiana, is because Sarge is Sarge. You're gonna stand on your square, Sarge. I'm still gonna stand on mine. MD is standing on himself. Okay, now what about Shreveport, Louisiana, about these health code violations, Sarge?
You didn't hear me when I made my explanation of what I thought about that?
Okay, that they all belong to go right straight to friggin' jail. You see what I mean?
That's not what I said. What
did you say, Sarge? What did you say?
It would appear, based upon what the gentleman told me, and I'm relying upon his word in this matter, that the state of Louisiana or the city of Shreveport did not exercise due care for the evicted tenants when they invoked their authority to seize the properties as a result of unpaid water bills. It seems to me as if through no fault of their own, the tenants were being evicted, and apparently the city of Shreveport made no accommodation to care for those tenants while they were seeking new housing. They have a suit, basis for a suit, and they should seek remedies.
Okay, now Sarge, let me ask you this.
Now wait, is there anything about that I just said that you don't agree?
Okay, now hold on, Sarge. Just to give more credence to what you said, it seems to me that you ought to be on the phone with Donald Duck right now and have Donald Duck come down here and do some intervention.
Oh, hell no. Donald Trump ain't got nothing to do with this. This is entirely a state of Louisiana matter. Now, if they want to bring up a civil rights violation on whatever basis,
which will
have to be made. A motion will have to be made by their attorneys to the Department of Justice for a civil rights violation. That's the way that has to work. Or to a court.
Okay, now, Sarge.
Donald Trump can't just intervene on his own.
Okay, but hold on, though, Sarge. You have children in there and you have elderly folks in there. And you mean to tell me, man, they cannot expedite these charges against these bastards for violating
you're not going to look at the
people's
state
human
of
rights?
You're not going to look at the state of Louisiana, the city of Shreveport, to do exactly that. Why the hell are you looking at the goddamn former president for it? They don't have an obligation first?
Okay, but Sarge, but that's just it, though, Sarge. The city of Shreveport and the damn state of Louisiana, Sarge, they're not doing their job. So which means is, Sarge, it seems to me is that some type of federal intervention has to be brought in on this case because this does fall under Housing and Urban Development, federal agency, Department of Health, Education, and Welfare, federal agency, crooked shenanigans, the U.S. Department of Commerce, to be in there on the crooked bastards that own these properties. You see what I'm saying? And me personally, I think the United Nations need to be on it, Sarge, just because it is a downright human rights violation, Sarge. You know it. I know it.
Stop it. Let's go with federal civil rights violation, which are pertinent, not the fucking UN. Let's take a look at what the Department of Civil Rights says. And if there is a basis for federal intervention based on federal civil or criminal civil rights laws, then let the Department of Justice intervene. Well, whatever. So again, if there is a basis for a violation of civil or federal criminal law, then let the federal government or the federal courts intervene as appropriate. One thing that cannot be a countenance is the damn UN having a damn thing whatsoever to say about it, especially since the UN Charter says that nothing in the UN Charter can be construed to cause interference into any domestic affair of any nation.
Sarge, I'm going to tell you something, man. You're almost as elusive as a hummingbird, man. And then, man, you're so bad, man, that you can handcuff lightning and throw thunder in jail.
That's what I keep telling you. I know too many facts.
Sarge. Okay, Sarge. People's lives are in jeopardy in that situation. They have hurricanes down there, Sarge. They have humidity down there. Okay, you know, and of course, you know, Louisiana is below sea level. That's why you have swamps, just like there with that raggedy ass state of Florida. Okay, so therefore you're exposing children and elderly people, man, to extreme hazardous conditions. Now, if it was out here in the state of Nevada, man, it wouldn't be so bad. You'd just be out here in 105 degrees like I am right now. You know what I'm saying? But you do got rattlers and critters out here, but you don't have no bodies of water here and you don't have no swamps out here. You see what I mean? So therefore, with them having swamps down there, the rain could come and gators can come up on there on those people and start having, you know, a grand feast on them. Then not to mention the fact, Sarge, that I'm quite sure that the majority of them are black people. And as you know, Sarge, right, if you want to realize it or not, to quote the words of Sidney Poitier, okay, there's colored time in jail and there's white time in jail. And the worst type of time to do is colored time. Now, what do I mean by that? When it comes to black people's human rights being violated, the state, the county, the feds, or whatever, they drag their feet on it. But let one of these Karens go out here and say, oh, I'm in this position right here. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, then the feds is all over the place. You see what I'm saying? But when it's our people, Sarge, they turned a blind eye because the white folk, Sarge, on a collective basis, hate us because they cannot be us. Okay, and like I told Joe Gibson and related to him since he kicked me off his show the other day, and you agreed with it, you and OP right there.
I didn't.
Okay, hold on, Sarge. Hold on, Sarge.
I didn't agree.
Sarge.
No, I didn't.
Okay, Sarge. What's good for the goose is good for the gander because, as you know, I put Joe Gibson, man, in the eject seat quite a few times. Okay, all right, and me and Bianchi don't speak at all, okay, which is fine, okay, now. But the point is, though, is this, Sarge. They got one standard of justice for, as Brother Paris calls them and Sister Akshita calls them, Moors, American descendants of slavery, or indigenous people here that I commonly refer to as black folk. And I say that is just because of the different generations of where we come from. Okay. But the fact of the matter is that Tom Micheneau, the mayor, the police chief, the public safety health commissioner right there, the head of that department, every last damn one of them, man, belong in federal court for violating human rights, Sarge. And these are quote unquote American citizens. Okay. So this here proves our premise even before. This country hates black people, Sarge, is because they hate us because they cannot be us. Understand? Now, you know how to work napkin holders, Sarge. You know what I'm saying? You know how to work napkin holders. I give you that, you know what I'm saying? And that's quite unique, you know what I mean? You know, I have to train myself with that.
You have to cultivate it. It's a skill, yes.
Yeah, I understand, Sarge, and to learn the skill, you have to do it repeatedly, just like with martial arts, just like with learning a craft, electricity, man, masonry, what have you. But what it is, though, Sarge, is due to the history of black people in the southern United States, okay, of the brutalization of us, okay, of how they bought and sold us like that, that is still within their ethos down there, which is their group psychology. But you got all these ass scratchers, Yasser bosses, Coons, Uncle Tom's with Harry, Tim Scott. You boss, I do love you, boss. And like the minister said, you had the house Negro and you had the field Negro. The field Negro will go up there to the house Negro and say, hey, man, let's escape. Let's run away. But what the house Negro going to say, man, you must be crazy. What's better than what we got right here? And it is such a damn shame, man, that 50 plus years after the civil rights movement, man, is that no progress has been made. It has been stalwarted. Now we got regression. You see what I'm saying? It's okay to go kill black folk, just like that sack of shit in the house, crossing state lines on the farm. I'm going to protect property. No, you wasn't. You was going up there to kill black people, so you couldn't find them. So you went off there and knocked off a couple of crackers. You know what I'm saying? Which I thought was great. But then they prosecuted him. But then when you go Darren Wilson, who shoots and kills an unarmed man with a 9mm, and they acquit him. What does white America do? They put together a GoFundMe page, man, and get this bastard a $50 million bounty for killing this young man. But nobody says nothing about that, Sarge. Aren't you tired of that, Sarge? You older than me, Sarge. Aren't you tired of seeing our people abused systemically, man, with this nonsense?
So wait a minute. So our people were abused systemically because some guy killed 3 people and he was acquitted of murder in a trial. So it was lawful self-defense, like you just told me a minute ago. With the black woman who shot the firefighter who was choking out her husband. So now all of a sudden, all those rules don't apply.
Okay, whoa, hold on, Sarge. Husband and wife, man, is a family unit. Husband and wife is a family unit, Sarge. Sarge, that's my point, okay? Depending on the jurisdiction, what it is, okay? It's because if you have a spouse...
Yeah, I want you to explain to me the distinction in the law with regard to the use of deadly force. Run it by me, please. I might not understand it thoroughly after 24 years as a cop.
Okay, Sarge. Okay, all right, so we're going to start our closing comments after I say this. Sarge, once again, you're trying to spin me into the corner, man, and I'm cutting the ring off on you. I've asked you specifically, does not the United States of America have a way of systemically murdering unarmed, poor black people?
So you're not going to answer my question. Okay, well, so I guess I have to answer that one. Is you determined not to answer one I just raised to you. What is the distinction in the law with regard to deadly force between a family member and a non-one? I guess either you don't know or you don't want to answer. So I'll answer this question then, okay? Has that ever happened in the United States? Yes. Is it applicable in this case? No. Next.
I see. Now, let me ask you this here, Sarge. What about if this couple was white? How do you think it would have happened or been handled?
Were they white?
if they were white, how do you think it would have been handled, sir?
I think they probably would have been charged with murder because the laws of intersectionality say that blacks are automatically victims and whites are automatically oppressors. That's what I think.
Okay, so you saying that blacks are automatically victims. Okay, now, once again, Sarge.
And whites are automatically oppressors, no matter what the facts of the case are.
Okay, Sarge. Okay, I'm going to ask you this question again that you failed to answer for the last 6 years. You and I have been acquainted from my platform to Frontline Black News to Joe Gibson's platforms, to Ron Rett's platform, even to the Alaskan platform. Is this, Sarge? Okay. Why is it in the American ethos, which is the group psychology of a society, rather if it's a neighborhood, a city, a state, or the country, why is it acceptable for black people to go out here to be murdered and then they marginalize the perpetrator of the murder, and then they start criminalizing the victim? Now, Sarge, are you familiar with the Eula Love case?
So you don't want the answer to your questions? That's just hypothetical.
Okay, no. The Eula Love case was a fact. Okay, are you familiar with it?
Yeah, but you asked me a question. You want me to answer that first before I go to the next?
Yeah. Answer your question first, Sarge. Yes, please answer the question first.
I think you are basing that question upon a specious, no longer true argument. I think that there is a concern when a black person is unlawfully murdered. So I don't agree with it.
Okay, Sarge, on that one, fortunately, I know better, but please proceed.
Well, you asked the question, and I answered it. Your question was, why don't people care when black people are murdered? And I said to you, I don't believe that's the case in 2024. I don't agree with that premise.
Okay, so in other words, Sarge, you're saying that in the last 60 years that we have made so much great progress with integration, right?
I am saying, show me the individual case to you which you are referring. Show me what the facts are, and then I will make a conclusion. I cannot give you a blanket answer with no knowledge of the individual facts.
Okay, Sarge. Have you read Chief yet by Daryl Gates that you told me 6 months ago that you were going to read?
I ordered it, and I haven't gotten it yet.
Sarge, you can go to your local library and get the book. Okay, I understand why you don't.
Nah. The book interests me. I just buy it. You ought to see how massive my library is. You have about 2,500 books in it.
Okay, well, that's great. That's
90 seconds.
For what it is, though, Sarge.
And I'm interested in this book, so that's why I ordered it.
Okay, all right, but Sarge, but just like, what happened to that brother on the L train or the subway, as they called it in New York, because in Chicago, but the L, where that man was murdered by that Marine, okay? That Marine was a war veteran, so which means he had special skills at killing, which constitutes a deadly
60
weapon.
seconds.
Okay, the young man was hungry. He only weighed 120 pounds.
Shabaka, I used chokeholds maybe 6 or 7 times in my career, and I never killed anybody with them.
Okay, well, Sarge, maybe you are a human being that has compassion. That I don't know, okay? It's because the chokehold, man, is very devastating, okay? It's because what you're doing is
if you apply it too long, but you apply it properly, it makes the guy stop resisting, and you can get him in a handcuff.
Okay, but Sarge, it could also make him stop breathing as well, too.
Well, that's why you don't hold it on there for too long.
Okay, but hold on, though, Sarge. Now, if this guy on the subway, okay, was such a menace of society, and the Marine outweighed this dude, man, every bit of 80 pounds, why didn't he just restrain him? The man was delirious. He was dehydrated.
There's evidence on the video. There's evidence on the video that he let up on the hold several times. The man did not die of damage to his coronary arteries or anything else. There's not even evidence that he suffocated to death. If you look at the autopsy.
Okay, Sarge, when I look at the video, you can see the man is dead when he hits the floor.
That's not true.
Okay. Oh yes, it is
That's
true.
not
The
true.
man went and
No, it
left.
isn't. No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
Yes,
That's
it
what a
is,
chokehold
Sarge.
does
Yes,
to you.
it is.
It makes you go limp because it cuts off the flow of blood to your brain. It's like it's like
Sarge,
going through
and
too
you
many
could die
G's
of that.
in a pull-out.
Okay,
That
but
pull is too
Sarge,
many G's.
what that Marine Corps veteran did, man, was cowardly. All he had to do, why didn't he just grab the dude by the collar, man, and pin him down and still let him stay alive? No. He went out there because what he wanted to do, Sarge, the same thing what Shittenhouse wanted to do. He wanted to go kill unarmed black people. Yes, because for some odd reason, the American efforts...
Gage Grosskreutz was carrying a 9mm pistol when he was shot by Ray Rittenhouse that he was a felon in possession of and had no business having. And he aimed it at Rittenhouse twice before he shot him on the second time.
Okay, Sarge. Okay, but Sarge, let's look
stop
at
saying they were unarmed.
Okay, but Sarge, let's look at his intent. Why did he take a firearm across state lines from Illinois into Milwaukee? And don't tell me he was out there trying to protect property. Don't say he was out there trying to protect property.
That is a misstatement of a non-fact. He brought no weapon across state line. The weapon was already stored in Wisconsin.
Okay, so then that means that he had prior knowledge, based on what you say, Sarge, that he had prior knowledge, Sarge, based on what you're telling me, of where this weapon was located. So which means is it was either planted for him or he planted it himself. Come on, man.
No,
give me a
it was
break,
purchased,
man.
It was purchased by another who allowed Rittenhouse to use it.
Okay,
it wasn't
now,
his property.
Mom's, okay, sorry. So where did Mom's buy the gun at? Did she buy it in the land of Lincoln or did she buy it in Wisconsin?
In Wisconsin.
I can't hear you, Sarge. She bought it in Wisconsin.
And there is no law against any United States citizen transporting any lawfully owned firearm across state lines. None. Not
Man,
even
you better
federal.
check
back. I got disconnected, y'all. I think the episode ended. Let's see. Yep, it ended. Well, thank y'all for tuning in to the special edition of Shabaka'S Black Experience Enhanced. In conjunction with the Frontline Black News, where we're discussing the situation in Shreveport update. 29 renters or squatters were forcibly removed from the Jolie Apartments in Shreveport, Louisiana. So we have got an update from our brother Jermaine Anderson. And then we had a discussion with Sarge about politics in regards to the dump and the DA in New York and all this. So thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all check us out tomorrow for Frontline Black News Season 4, Episode 10. It'll be 10? It'll be 8 or... it'll be Episode 10. Yeah. Part 1 of Frontline Black News. So we'll see y'all then. In the meantime, make sure y'all like and subscribe to all of our platforms, Frontline Black News, on YouTube and Facebook, The Revolutionary Agenda on YouTube and Facebook, and Shabaka'S Black Experience Enhanced on Facebook and X.com, formerly known as Twitter. So, peace, love, light, reparations, and separations, and Black empowerment. Shane Crumman, Justice Parish, House District 8, Carl State House District 8 candidate signing out from the Mile High Income and Illegal Migrant Flooded City. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.